Hey, everybody. Today, we're going to talk about knowledge share. We want to welcome you to the show and tell you why we want to talk about that.
Why you want to talk about it. You're going to teach. I don't know what it is.
I got wind of this at a conference. It was up north, and it's by a business consultant leader that's nationally known. And he mentioned knowledge share. So today, I want to talk about what it is, how to use it, and why it's beneficial.
Let's do it.
I'm Karen. I'm a CPA, entrepreneur with big ideas, and I'm the mom.
I'm Cadie. I'm a payroll specialist, business owner, and detail-oriented person that makes things happen, and I'm the daughter. Welcome to Cheers to Business. So what is this knowledge share thing you speak of?
It is you always want to tell everything you know to the people around you.
Love it.
Because I've seen people in the past be so insecure about their jobs that they hold all the information in and they won't share where that file is even.
I hate
so
that.
Petty. Or if you ask a question, they go, oh, I'll get that for you.
So,
no, tell me how to go get it.
Well, for example, if like a client asks a question and I'm answering it, and I think it's a great answer that other people should see this answer.
That's why we started the podcast.
Well, that's why I will blind copy the team. When I send an email that I think, it could benefit other people, I will blind copy my team on it so that
I do the same thing.
They can save it, and they have a templates folder just so, especially if we see a lot of the same questions come in, when will W-2s be ready? If I'm answering that one time and then sharing that knowledge, that's, time that they can save by not having to think of how to answer it.
Yeah, if somebody asks me a tax question that I know the team needs to know, especially going into tax season, I will blind copy them. But they've known ahead of time that I was going to do that. For information that I think you need to know that is not going to come up in our daily conversation.
Right.
That's when I'll do that.
Because you can't teach everybody everything at the beginning. No. It's impossible.
Well, and you look at people with experience too, and I've been around for a good long time. And so I've seen different situations that they just haven't had the opportunity to see yet. But the knowledge share is not just with your team. It's with your clients and your customers. It's like giving somebody a fish or showing them how to use a fishing pole. Because if we can show clients, and it works so well. I don't agree with, well, just send it to me and I'll take care of it. As far as something that they need, you need to know how to do stuff in your QuickBooks. You need to know how to pull reports. You need to know.
So it is educating your clients.
Everybody around you.
But I feel like if a client does ask you, hey, I need this, yes, educating as far as, hey, here, I did this, but I've seen before, I needed a form, for example, from my insurance company. They gave it to me. They emailed it back to me, but they also let me know, hey, online, here's where you can go get this in case you ever need it,
Absolutely.
To get it outside of business hours.
You're not going to tell every customer, I'm not going to tell the team all the time, go look it up yourself. You don't know, but we used to have these books called encyclopedias. And every time you'd ask somebody something, they say, go look it up in the encyclopedia. And it was so aggravating. Will you just tell me the answer? That's not what I'm talking about. Why are you laughing?
Look in file cabinets. They won't understand that.
I know. At some point, though, when people keep asking the same question and you keep trying to transfer this knowledge to them so that they can use it on their own. But if you do that, people will find new things that they need to know. So it's continuing to grow constantly. But you cannot contain your knowledge inside yourself. Because then nobody benefits. Because what if everybody else is doing that as well? What we can learn from each other is infinite. And I think that point I wanted to share today was not to be scared to not tell people, look what everything I know. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about serious conversations of helping someone learn how to do something just because you know how to do it. I think it could be beneficial and it's a win-win situation.
Sharing the knowledge. Well, we use in our office, what would happen if you got hit by a bus?
Yeah, we use that one too.
It's terrible, but it's true. If you got hit by a bus tomorrow, where are the passwords saved? How do you do this? How do you do that? And I think that goes back to what is that? The E-myth, where there should be a process for everything. So it's just everything should have a process.
Yeah, and we have a binder, an instructional binder, but that binder we forget to update it.
I feel like that's the original knowledge share, maybe, as far as the knowledge, documenting it,
Yes.
Sticking your head in the door and, hey, by the way, blah, 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 blah. I feel like really documenting it is important.
Well, think about it too. If you've been sitting at a computer and you ask somebody, let's say you got a spreadsheet up, for example, and you've got somebody walking by and you go, hey, do you know how to get that V lookup thing or whatever it is? And they reach over you and they do it for you. Or what if they just pulled up a chair and go, put your hands on it, do hands on, and I'm going to teach you how to do it. Share the knowledge.
Or even better than that, rather than like, hey, interrupting that person, you could shoot them an email, hey, how do you do this? No, and then they reply with the instructions, and then that can be forwarded to everybody else.
If I can have 2 hours of your time next week, I'll teach you that.
Well, no, I Excel is my game. Don't play.
Oh, can I tell something embarrassing? So I went to conference in November, and I took this class on Excel, and they had these 12 things, magic things you can do in Excel. So I go to have knowledge transfer. So I'm sitting around and, everybody's younger than me at the firm. And so I'm sitting down and I've got the big screen up showing them everything I learned. And I see heads nodding up and down like, yes, yeah, so, yeah. Only one thing I brought back. And I finally stood up and I went, why didn't y'all tell me how to use this? They all knew what I was doing. And I was so excited about sharing my knowledge that I was kind of felt like, well, why didn't y'all tell me? So you don't know what people don't know, though.
It would be fun to do where everybody brings their favorite Excel trick and they show everybody that. Like my two favorites, they're tied, is when Excel identifies duplicate values and conditional formatting.
I learned that was 2 of the 12.
You should have came to my class.
Who knew? Who knew you had a class?
Cheers to knowledge sharing.
That's it. And that's why it works.
But I think if everybody brought their favorite thing, I feel like that would be a good idea.
How popular do you think it would be if we put an event on Facebook, a networking Excel?
Oh, like Excel topics.
How many people would you get?
I think that a lot of people would come that want to know more about Excel.
You'd end up teaching the class.
I would love that.
You should just do an Excel class.
My original plan was to be a teacher. So anytime I hear like training, I am like, let's do it. So if you're interested in learning about Excel,
Well, obviously I don't need to send my staff, but I'll show up.
What else do I need to know about knowledge sharing?
Well, we've told what it is, and we've told a little bit of how to use it, but I think the biggest thing is before you say yes, no, or 1, 2, 3, maybe part of it is why you're doing it that way. I think that's part of the knowledge share process.
More of the understanding.
The why. Because nobody's going to be quick to replicate steps 1, 2, 3 unless they know what 1, 2, and 3 mean and the repercussions.
So and then I want to say is if you wonder if something, for example, I wonder if Excel can do this. Chances are it can, and chances are there's someone else who has had that same exact question. So the answer is out there somewhere. It's just a matter of taking the time to find that answer or reaching out to others. Don't be scared to say that you don't know how to do something.
Oh, absolutely.
That's how you learn.
To me, I respect people more when they admit they don't know how to do something than if they pretend they do, then I find out they don't because usually I have to go fix it.
Just tell me.
That's just irritating.
Like when you ask somebody to do something, they kind of do the nod and you can see that you don't really understand, and which is okay. I would rather you tell me I don't know how to do that than sit there for an hour trying to figure it out.
I tell people, this is no lie, I said, I'm going to keep talking until you tell me you don't know what I'm talking about. Because if you nod your head yes, I'm thinking you're understanding what I'm saying. And so, but don't be scared to say, stop. I don't know what the hell you're talking about.
Yeah, I love it.
Please stop. Please stop that person. And that's another reason that leads into the third thing of why it's beneficial. It's beneficial because if everybody on your team and your clientele and your customers are knowledgeable about what we're all doing, it just brings more success to the table, and everybody ends up making more money in the long run because we're sharing the knowledge.
Even like networking.
Absolutely.
Referral partnerships. The more that they kind of understand your business and you understand theirs, the more beneficial that relationship is.
I'm not the biggest fan of BNI. I respect BNI. But I think that's one thing that they do well. And forcing people to have those one-on-ones.
Oh, and the 10-minute things.
Yeah, I got to do a one-on-one, I've heard people say. But, the more we learn about different types of industries, the more we can learn of their needs and how they can be serviced.
Absolutely. Wrapping it up, knowledge share. It's more about teaching someone to fish rather than just handing them a fish.
Correct.
But by giving away all this information, the secrets of the sauce, are you teaching yourself out of a client?
Absolutely not. And I'm so cement about that. I don't think it can ever happen. It can happen if somebody's insecure, I think. Oh, they don't need me anymore. I taught them everything. Number one, that's not feasible, that somebody can do that. Number two, if I'm sharing with you, then I'm going to other people that know more than me and they're sharing with me, and then I'm going to share to you. And it's a continuous successful business and life cycle where everybody just keeps learning and helping each other, and everybody becomes more successful. Technology has put that out there for us at our fingertips. So, you can't look up everything, but you can share what you know, and people that know more can share with you.
I just have the Lion King song in my head.
I wish I could sing.
Not the circle of life, but the circle of knowledge.
Circle of knowledge. I'm holding my little lion cub up right now.
Your little encyclopedia.
Cadie, do you remember when we first decided to do the podcast?
Yes.
Do you remember why we decided to do the podcast? Besides the fact we were drinking wine?
To share knowledge.
Exactly. People have said, oh, has the podcast got you any business? I went, no, that's not why we do the podcast.
Right.
Because, whether it's clientele or the associates on the team at the office or your neighbor, I don't care. Your family, and it doesn't matter, because if I'm showing you and I'm teaching you what I do and explaining the why of why I do what I do, I'm not just providing a service to you. I'm teaching you because you know the why of why I'm doing what I'm doing and how we can work better together.
I agree with that, because oftentimes payroll people, press this button, and it's done, plug in this number. And it's just, it's more than just data entry.
Right.
Let's take a new hire, for example. There's all these forms that they have to complete. And employers, especially with smaller businesses, they don't, why do we need all these forms? I just pay them this, we agreed. Well, it matters, for example, Form W-4, that's for their federal
Just tell me
withholding.
where to sign. I don't know. I don't want to know.
But then that goes, okay, so then that interferes with my knowledge share.
True.
Because you're giving that form to your employee who may have those questions.
I happen to know what the forms are, but
I know, but I'm just saying.
But a lot of business owners, they don't want to know.
Your employee needs to know what
Absolutely.
this is. So I need to tell you so that you're able to tell them.
There you go. You just did it. All right. So you're going to share knowledge of Excel with me and be patient.
And email etiquette.
You're going to do the whole team on that one.
Okay.
So what can I share with you?
QuickBooks side of things for my team, as far as, because a lot of our clients use QuickBooks for their bookkeeping, not for payroll, because we do that. So showing the team what it looks like on the client side, as far as payroll drafting from the account, the journal entry aspect, chart of accounts, those type of things.
Okay.
Because how the payroll side affects the QuickBooks.
I would love to do that, because then if they're more familiar with it, that eases up the client's aggravation. So when they call their accountant and ask them how to do it, it's more efficient. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'll be happy to.
Cool. Knowledge sharing. I love that I've done this not knowing about it, I guess, just intuitively, but how can I know more about it?
Now, I learned about this at a conference, but I know that there's a book out called Creating a Knowledge Sharing Culture by David Gurteen.
So you just heard about it in a conference?
Yeah, I've never read anything about it.
Okay, cool. Yeah, we'll have to read the book.
Let's do an Audible. We can do a mother-daughter date night with learning about knowledge sharing. You want to go on a date with me?
The date night is not supposed to be professionally driven.
But that makes us happy.
We'll see.
Good show.
Well, I like knowledge share.
Nice.
Everyone, thank you for listening, and huge thank you to Domke Market for the wine. They're on Schillinger Road, or you can find them on Facebook, DOMKE, Domke Market. And today, what are we drinking?
The bottle says Vietti, and then it says Barbera D'Asti. Looks like nasty.
Just ask Domke Market what the Cheers to Business duo was drinking. And
it's got an apostrophe.
Okay, mother. They can help you find a wine that you love. Just kind of tell them what you like, what you usually drink, and they're super helpful.
What does Tre Vigny mean?
Moving on.
Stop. I want to know. Share your knowledge.
I don't know.
All right. Brooke's got to share her knowledge with us.
Just visit Domke Market on Schillinger or on the interweb or Facebook, Domke Market. They will share their knowledge of wine.
Cheers to, I want you to know everything that I know.
Cheers to always learning.
Y'all, thank you so much for listening and being here with us today. I'm Karen.
I'm Cadie. Please be sure to subscribe to Cheers to Business podcast on iTunes or anywhere else that you get your podcast.
visit our Facebook and be sure to give us a like. And if you have any questions or topics you'd like us to discuss, shoot us an email from the website cheerstobusiness.com.